Alrighty. How are we doing? How are we doing? How are we doing? Monday morning. Another week of bets. Just getting all set up here. Yeah, so we'll be on the new Doink 3 today. Showcasing a little bit. As always, if you guys have plays you want to look at today, if you want me to run it through the different tools we have, feel free to send those in the chat. We're live here on X, Twitch, and YouTube as well. If you want to watch there, uh, let me know, and I can send you guys the link for those. Couple things I noted today, man. Spencer Strider has just been absolutely terrible of late. I'm not fully convinced that he's not hurt, that he's not still hurt. I mean, just look at this in his last four outings even, and like the K stuff is just non-existent right now for Spencer Strider. He had a decent little run there in the middle of July, and then he got hurt. It's just weird. 11 strikeouts, 8 strikeouts versus the Yankees, 7 versus the Giants. Then Kansas City. Now, Kansas City doesn't strike out a ton. Just, 7 hits, 2 earned there. And it's like the walks aren't an issue, right? It's just the K stuff. And I feel like he's leaving his fastball over the plate a lot. Michael, what's up, man? Good morning. Good morning. Or good afternoon now. I guess it's 11. Welcome in. Welcome in. This is interesting, but if you look at him against Miami, he's had some really good success, right? So part of me is like weary to take him under today. It, honestly, it may just be a stay away for me today. I just want to see. Like I just want to see. Um, 13 strikeouts and 9 strikeouts. I know this was a couple years ago, so hasn't faced him in a little while. It would probably just be a stay away today. We are starting to see that prop line come down for Strider, though. He's been at 7.5. He's been at 6.5 at times this season. Now we're seeing that dip a little bit. Um, so it's interesting. Marlins have, the last 3 they've really been striking out as well. They faced Bieber in his first start in a while. He struck out 9. Barrios struck out 8. Gaussman struck out 7. More than likely would be a stay away spot for me here. But I do want to look. I do want to look here at his lines. Yeah, and this is going to be a plus money play. Never mind. So like, if you were taking this, if you guys haven't played on Splash Sports, I highly recommend downloading it. Splash Sports is just strictly peer to peer, so they don't necessarily worry about their lines they drop. So you can see Strider at 5.5 strikeouts is like minus 160 on the books. And you're getting this implied odd on Splash Sports of minus 118. So it really makes it plus EV to bet it over there. Now you do have to combine like at least 2 props on Splash, and you strictly wait until your contest fills, and then you just play against other people's props as well. So I think using Doink Sports is really strong if you want to play over there on a site like Splash Sports. You can do similar things on Prize Picks and Underdog as well. But you get these deeply priced lines on Splash that you wouldn't normally get. Like you're not gonna see on Prize Picks. I bet you Strider's at 6, maybe 6.5. But it may just be a stay away spot for me today. Now I do want to take a look at the Stat Shack today, kind of look at pitchers. And Stat Shack is a great way to kind of get a good starting point for data. So we can filter it by pitching today. We can save that. And this is going to give us the starters that are pitching today. So we can kind of see here. And I like to look at, okay, who's giving up the most home runs, who has the highest barrel rate, that sort of thing. Now, I don't think that The site has all that data ready. Remember, guys, we're still just in beta right now. We're not fully released, so there's going to be some bugs, odds and ends. When the site does go live, when the site officially goes live, if you have any issues or problems, you can DM me on X here on the Doink Sports X account. You can join our Discord server as well. If you look in the top right hand corner up here, let's see here. Thought there was typically a yeah. So if you click this support here in your top right and click Discord, should give you a link to join the Discord as well. Very responsive founders and dev team over there answer your questions. They're very community driven as well. If the community agrees on that they want something, the guys will make it. Now, obviously, if it's just one person asking for something crazy, they're not going to do that. But if multiple people are wanting something and the data makes sense and they can do it, they'll add it. But what I like to look at here is we've got JP Sears, who's given up 25 homers this season. Tanner Bybee, 23. Sugano, 22. And Strider, just in 89 innings so far this season, has given up 17 homers. That's actually insane. So I kind of do want to look at this to start. I want to see now, based on his career starts, I'm not assuming anybody's going to have any good data against him, which, of course, none of these guys have even faced him. It's going to be really impossible to correlate that stuff. But what we could do is we could look at some BVP data and see if anybody kind of sticks out to us here. I wonder if it's coming. I mean, just the ISO alone. That slider is getting him in trouble. And to right-handed hitters, it seems like the fastball is struggling, which is interesting. You wouldn't expect the right-handers to be seeing that fastball as well as they are. Change up hit pretty well. He's not throwing it a ton, and that's the thing, right? Strider's just featuring that four seam and that slider. So it's like these guys are just sitting on these two pitches. He's got to incorporate some other pitches into his arsenal. And maybe the changeup's not very good. As you can see, he hasn't thrown it a ton. Just 6% usage. Now the curveball's starting to see a little bit more usage. I'm hoping that he'll throw that more. Because it seems to be okay, right? He's just giving up one hit on the curveball, and a lot of these guys don't seem like they're ready for that pitch. They're gearing up for 97, or they're ready for that slider. But I want to see if anything jumps out to me here. Edwards is not much of a home run hitter. Jacob Marcy. I mean, this guy has just come on super strong. Now, keep in mind, his sample size is super small, so of course he's going to look great. Doesn't have that many big league at-bats right now, but he's off to a super hot start. No homers so far against right-hand pitching, but a bases look could be interesting. Now, this is one that could be very, very interesting. And I kind of, like, before I started this stream, I was like, Augustin Ramirez, known right-hand fastball hitter. He's batting .311 with a .295 ISO against right-hand pitching. If Strider leaves that fastball over the plate like he has been doing, could be deposited. Now, granted, I would love to see the slider numbers a little better for Augustin Ramirez today. Not a good batting average really there. Not a good ISO. But does see the curveball well, but he's just not going to see it a ton. You really would want a four-seam slider ball hitter today. Now, as much as Strider's going to feature the fastball, it would be okay to overlook the slider numbers, but there's reason to believe that Strider comes out and just peppers Ramirez with sliders today, right? Man, that fastball velocity is down. I mean, this is a guy that was topping out at 100. That fastball velo is way down. See who we have next here. Liam Hicks. Another decent fastball hitter, not a very good slider hitter. Otto Lopez. Pretty decent fastball hitter and a pretty decent slider hitter as well. The strikeouts are always going to be the thing with Otto Lopez, but the 288 ISO to the four seam fastball. He's hit 5 homers this season off that. How about lefties? So yeah, the majority of his home runs have come off the four seam fastball. So Otto Lopez might be a sneaky look for a homers today. Heriberto Hernandez. Yo, Huncho, thanks for the repost, brother. Appreciate that, man. Nothing's going to stick out there. Troy Johnston has shown he can hit that slider. Again, super small sample size guy. Eric Wagaman does not hit the fastball well at all. Javier Sonoja. Not sure if I'm saying that right. Yo, Jose, thank you for the repost to the stream. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, guys. Reposts are never required, but always appreciated. We love getting as many eyes on the live stream as we can, so that we can continue to do these daily, provide value to you guys. If you guys have plays as well, make sure to post them in the chat, and we'll take a look at them. This is pretty interesting. 263 with a 228 ISO. Not really a guy you would want to necessarily take for a homer, as he's only hit only hit 4 homers this season, but all 4 of his homers have come off the four seam fastball. Seems like he can handle the slider, and he's handling the changeup as well. Could be an interesting little 1.5 bases type play. But ultimately, I'm probably going to stay away from Strider over under. I really am intrigued about the Otto Lopez one. Just because we had that 288 ISO and he's hit so many homers. I'm not going to say so many homers. He's hit the bulk of his home runs off the four seam fastball and the slider as well. Let's kind of dive into him a little bit and see. It's kind of crazy that the Marlins have a better record than the Braves. Acuna 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Okay, we'll take a look at that one here next. Let me jump into this Otto Lopez look, because this one is super interesting to me. And right off the rip, we kind of see he has a hit in each of his last 9 games. Only missed once, and it was against this Braves team. As you can see, just a ton of singles, right? So not really showing too much pop. I don't think he's hit a home run. So he hasn't hit a home run in each of his last 10 games. So it would be kind of a weird. I mean, at plus 810 though, to take a home run could be worth $1 or 2. Opal as well. To me, it looks like a strikeout night tonight. You talking about for Spencer Strider? Talking about taking Strider strikeouts? Hunter Green strikeouts probably my lock. Yeah, so we had somebody mention the Ronald Acuna. Let's kind of take a look at that. And the thing about Ronald, right, is he's always going to be a good look. Against right-hand pitching, seems like he's swinging a hot bat. Just who do we have? Edward Cabrera on the other side. 0 for 4 for Ronald, 33% K rate. Edward Cabrera, not typically a guy I like to stack against. But we can dive into the BVP data here and kind of see. So he walked him, couple of medium ground outs. What's up, D? How you doing today, brother? Yeah, nothing's really gonna jump out to you here. But I think if you can get, because I'm sure that this on the books is like what, minus 135, Hunjo? So let's take a look and see what Ronald is on the books here. Hits, runs, RBI. So we're getting like minus 120, minus 140, minus 130. So you do see a little bit of a plus EV look there on DraftKings pick six. Hunter Green strikeouts. So let's take a look at that. Taking a day off from streaming. Hey, I don't blame you, man. You've been grinding out the content, brother. You've been grinding out the content. That's what we love to see, you know? That's what we look for people that we want to showcase our content. People that are willing to put in the work. Yeah, and I mean, just off the rip, you see the Ks per nine. Great. It seems like he's off his restriction. He was kind of on a pitch restriction there for a little while he was coming back from injury. Did get up to 98 pitches in his last outing, and he struck out 12 Angels. Now the Angels are known to strike out, so that one's interesting. But interestingly enough, to take him, look at him versus Miami, like playing there. Oh, you talking about Ronald? Okay. Yeah, and I've seen people. Oh wait, this is tomorrow's game. This is super interesting. Okay. Yeah, and I saw somebody actually put out a tweet today that he just owns the Marlins. That he just owns the Marlins. The only thing that's kind of putting me off it is just Edward Cabrera, just a pretty solid pitcher on the other side. Um, Now he has been getting tuned up a little bit in his last couple of starts, so that's nothing to scoff at. But prior to that, just had a couple of good outings in a row. Big K numbers there against Atlanta as well. I don't believe Ronald played in this game, or maybe he did. Let's see. Let's look at this BVP again. But yeah, Ronald absolutely has owned them. So it doesn't look like he actually played in this game. The last one is from 2023. But interestingly enough, this is interesting. This is interesting. What is his fantasy score line tonight? You cannot deny the data here, guys. And I always say trust the data over the deeper metrics, right? Something about the ballpark. It's got to be right. Just multi-hit game after multi-hit game here, playing Miami. And even if you go to away from home, it's the same thing. Total bases, just yeah. So that 1.5 look on pick six, I love it. I love it. So we had somebody talk about Hunter Green. So we had talked about Hunter Green, came off that restriction, got a full allotment of work in his last time out. Let's kind of look at some BVP here. Otani 60% K rate. That's nice. If you can get Otani out, if you can get Otani and Freeman out, you're gonna be doing pretty well against the Dodgers, right? Freeman 3 for 12 with a homer, 33% K rate, 42% for Hernandez, 33 for Andy Pajes. Interesting. Interesting. What is the line sitting at today? So it's sitting at 6.5. Is this where you guys are looking to take it? He's got 4 career starts against the Dodgers. A couple were made last season. Went 19 and 18 outs. Cashed in one of them. One of them he did not. I think this Dodgers lineup does have some strikeouts in it as well. Like you look at Freeland. Freeland's had almost a 34% K rate. Let's do it by right-hand pitching as well. Let's make sure we're looking at the right data. Otani's K rate is really high. You wouldn't expect it to be that high. 31%. I mean, Mookie not striking out, but everybody else, just about above league average there in strikeouts. I would probably want to make this a parlay piece, and probably take maybe 5 strikeouts. Maybe you parlay it 5 plus strikeouts, and throw it in there with some other guys you like as well. I think a likely outcome here is he gets to 6 or he gets to 5, and you're on the hook, right? On the hook for that half a strikeout. But it's hard to deny. He's been really, really good. And here he was ramping back up from injury. June. Okay, so he didn't pitch for like a month almost. More than a month. More than 2 months. Came back. So this is actually his third start back. Okay. Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. Any other looks you guys look? I saw somebody said Profar has decent history against Cabrera. Okay. All right, let's take a look. And yeah, guys, if you guys want to just drive the stream, talk about some plays, I'll look at them. I'll look at them, or we can look at the hit rater. We can look at Stat Shack. Excuse me. Let's see here, Cabrera. Yeah, so he's faced him 8 times, 3 hits, 1 homer. Take a look at some analysis here. And against Miami, pretty good numbers as well. Pretty good numbers as well against Miami. Maybe not as good away from home, but still pretty good. And let's look at this. Let's look at this batter versus pitcher and kind of see what he's done. So in the August 8th game, he actually took him deep. Hard hit ball on a sinker. Walk, double, walk, strikeout, line out. Look, so this is one thing I like to look at, right? So can anybody in the chat say like what we're looking for here? What we would possibly be looking for? I'll give you a hint. It's right here. We're seeing a lot of hard contact. Okay, line out, line out. Then he hit a double. So the hard contact's a good indication that he sees the pitches pretty well. And as you can see, really where Cabrera is getting in trouble the most is that four seam and that sinker. So his fast pitches are what's getting him in trouble. So sinker, we got 267 with 333 ISO, 235. So not really hitting the fastball all that well, but Cabrera's not going to throw it a ton, right? Just 14% on that fastball. Sinker's going to be 20% of the time. So he really does a good job of mixing up his pitches. And I think that's where his success has been. It's just mixing up those pitches. Yeah, I like Profar for sure. Somebody said Matt Olson. Okay, let's see. So we're liking some Atlanta guys tonight, right? We're not buying into Edward Cabrera. This 24 out start with 11 strikeouts, just 2 hits allowed. Woo! It's pretty insane. Let's take a look at Mr. Matt. Now he's swinging too. I mean, are the Braves just coming online too late? Is that what's happening? The Braves are just coming online now when it's too late? Are they going to go on a generational run to make the playoffs? This is pretty insane too. I mean, you can just scroll through these guys, right? I mean, the Atlanta Braves have owned the Marlins. Now, I've seen a lot of people taking Nacho Alvarez. He's been really good. He's been really good. Check this out. Check this out. He's just getting on base, right? Walks, singles, doubles, 2 doubles in that game. He's just getting on base, doing what they need him to do. I expect bombs in the New York Yankees game. And yeah, when I took a look at the Stat Shack here, and I looked at pictures, and I had today, and we saved it. Let's see. So who's going in that game? Do we not have a starter? Oh, Brad Lord. Okay, so they're doing kind of like a bullpen game. How many home runs has he given up? So most of his home runs have come against left-hand hitters. Yeah, that barrel rate's pretty concerning. Has any of these guys faced him? Just McMahon? Okay. Let's see. And also, is he struggling? Scroll down here. Hey, who had a Jazz Chisholm ticket last night? 2 home run game for Mr. Jazz. Almost matched his output in the home run derby in one game, right? Big Ben Rice. Mr. Big Ben Rice. Let's take a look at it then. Let's take a look. 205 ISO to the fastball. So a lot of his ancillary pitches are pretty good, right? The changeup and the slider are pretty good, but that fastball, that fastball, getting him in trouble. Um, Nothing really sticks out to me in terms of Ben Rice being a good fastball hitter or anything. If if Brad Lord was a sinker baller, I think I would be more willing to take Ben Rice today, 'cause his sinker numbers are incredible. Just 244, 167 ISO, nothing that's going to jump off the page at you, but 21% barrel rate, 63% hard hit. So he's hitting the ball pretty well. Maybe this would imply he's getting slightly unlucky, right? Because I mean, with this launch angle and exit velocity, you would think some of these balls would find the seats, right? Cody Bellinger. Always look at Cody Bellinger. I think he cost a lot of people last night. Yeah, he's kind of home run or bust on the fastball, right? 7 homers this season against a fastball. Interesting. Not barreling it a ton. Um, EVs, the exit velocity a little bit less than Ben Rice was. Hard hit rate a lot lower than what Ben Rice was. So I think I actually prefer going Ben Rice here, just based on the metrics. We're seeing a pretty high barrel rate. 22% is really good. 63% hard hit rate and a 97 exit velocity. Fastball line drive rate pretty good. But to me, you're seeing that average distance of 200 feet, and this to me would imply maybe we take total bases for Ben Rice, right? Maybe he's putting these in the gap, but right now he's just getting unlucky, and he's hitting it right at somebody, right at an outfielder. Advanced metrics in baseball, these outfielders are shifting to these players' tendencies and stuff, so that can play a factor as well. One thing I did want to look at was this. JP Sears just gives up a ton of hard contact, giving up 21 homers to right-hand batters this season. Pretty insane. Pretty insane. Does pretty well against lefties, not giving up a ton of power. And I wanted to see, has anybody faced him? Anyone faced him? So Cal Raleigh's taken him deep once. Julio's taken him deep. Naylor's taken him deep. Mitch Garver would be an extremely interesting look tonight. And he's got a 0.5 hits line on Prize Picks tonight, which would be interesting. Let's take a look at Mitch Garver. Against left-hand pitching. At home, nothing really sticks out there. Maybe against San Diego. Had a single. Lots of hard contact. Lots of hard contact here. Fly out, line out, fly out. Hit a sac fly here. Ground out. Couple strikeouts littered in there. But I think if you're going to take Mitch Garver, you have to know that the strikeouts are probably going to be there. I do want to see the pitch mix. Holy, Bryce Miller. I guess it's a super low K line, right? With the Padres on the other side. Let's look at Mitch Garver. What's getting you into trouble, JP? Pretty much everything. And I mean, almost doesn't matter what he throws, he's giving up homers, right? So you're going to see the four seam 41% of the time. 215 ISO, 8 homers. So Garver really hasn't done too well, right? Just 2 homers against left-hand pitching. 229 ISO there. Won't see the sinker enough for it to really matter. Won't see the curveball enough for it to matter. Slider, eh. This one, like if you just look at BVP data, maybe. But when I look at it deeper, I'm just like, probably a little thin. So naturally, if I don't take this tonight, he's gonna hit a home run in his first at bat. Brandon Lowe versus Bybee. Brandon Lowe. Brandon, or is it Brandon Lau? I always get those guys mixed up. Josh Lowe and Brandon Lau, I believe, is the pronunciation. Randy? Yeah, we can look at Randy after this as well. And I mean, I'm pretty sure Seattle is swinging a hot bat right now. It may have just been a one-game sample, but all right. So Brandon has a hit in 6 of 10. Gone over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, 6 out of the last 10 as well. So that's interesting. My dog wants me to let him out real quick. Give me a sec here. Gotta let the pup out. Dog loves to sit outside. Correct on the name pronunciation. Yeah, like there's too many Lows and Lows in the MLB, man. Too many. Brandon, Josh, and then Nathaniel, right? Which, okay. So, seems like Bybee's been a little bit better at home this season in terms of ERA. That, plays a little bit of a factor, but not too much. The recent history is good for Lau, right? He's swinging a hot bat. Couple of hard hit balls as well. I don't think you can ever go wrong taking a guy like this. Especially if we look at the metrics here. Now I see why you guys might want to take this one today. Bybee's fastball is getting popped, right? 315 average with almost a 200 ISO. Uh, Brandon Lau sees that pitch extremely well. 319 average with a 319 ISO as well. 7 homers off that. His second pitch you're going to see is the changeup, which Lau also sees really well. Yeah, I really like this one. I really like this one. Just based on pitch mix alone, right? So you're going to see that four seam, that changeup, that cutter. How's he doing against the cutter? Crushing it. Crushing the cutter, the sweeper. Doing pretty well. So this right here is what I look at, right? BVP data would tell you maybe he's not the best hitter, right? But he's got some hard contact. Has struck out a couple times, which is always going to happen with Brandon Lau. Yeah. This is what you look for right here. Interesting. Let's actually see what the odds are for him today for a home run. So plus 410, I believe that's Fanatics is the best line you can get. Your flagship sites plus 390, pretty good there. How about Profit X? Plus 395. I might have to bet that over there. That's really the only place I can bet. But whoever mentioned Brandon Lowe, Jose, yeah, this is a sharp one. This is a sharp one. I like this. I like this. And what we can use this stream to do, guys, is a lot of times you guys have looked at different props that I have, so we can kind of bounce ideas off each other. Because when I see Bybee on the mound, my first instinct is not to go, let's stack Tampa Bay bats against him. But when we look at the data further, we see that there's a little bit of an edge there. Bobby Witt Jr. Okay. Okay. Let's look at Mr. Bobby against Shane Smith. 45% hard hit rate to right-handers. Only given up 3 homers against right-handers this season. Shane Smith has been better than expected, I guess. Has he faced him? Yeah, so he's 2 for 2. 2 for 2 off him in his career. Small sample, of course. Just probably a one-game sample, right? Also, have the Royals just been swinging it right now? Yeah, so I mean, the Royals are just playing really well right now. Could you also look at Miguel Vargas in this game? Absolutely, absolutely. Miguel Vargas is one of my favorite guys to bet on. Oh my goodness, Bobby Witt is swinging it. So what's his basis sitting at? So yeah, if you guys have DraftKings pick six, I can already tell you that um, that's going to be a plus EV play there. So you're getting like minus 140, minus 135. I would definitely bet this on DraftKings if you have it. What is this, Bovada? But you're getting a minus 112 implied odd there on DraftKings pick six, which is peer to peer. If you guys bet DFS, like if you're like me, I'm in a state where I can't straight bet, so I have to take them like this on the DFS sites. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, walk, single, double. That's what we like to see. Yeah, so May 5th. So Shane Smith just could not get this guy out. He could not get this guy out in May. So what are we throwing? Four seam fastball. This fastball is really good. Witt's handling it. So the curveball and the sinker is what's getting him in trouble, right? So it's like you're getting deep in these counts. You've thrown him 3 or 4 fastballs. He's seen the slider. He's seen the changeup. You're trying to mix something in. So you go to the sinker. You go to the curveball, and that's really where he's starting to get in trouble, right? 14. He's still going to throw this pitch. He's still going to throw this sinker. Witt's handling that. Changeup. Witt's handling. Four seam. Witt's handling, which he's going to handle most of these pitches, right? He's batting over 300 for the season, right? Yeah, I definitely don't think you can go wrong. Just a good barrel rates, good hard hit. Curveball, not so much, but it's an off-speed pitch, so you can imagine that hard hit's not going to come super frequently on that pitch. Four seam hitting very hard. Line drive. I like a total bases look for Bobby Witt today. So we had somebody that wanted to look at Miguel Vargas in this game as well. Let's take a look. Where is he? Oh, okay, he's leading off right now. I did not expect Miguel Vargas to be leading off. So he's 1 for 2 off Noah Cameron. And Noah Cameron's not really a guy that I look at it immediately and say, all right, let's stack Noah Cameron. 2.59 ERA, been pretty good, hasn't been hit super hard, low barrel rate, that sort of thing. But if the data tells me something different, then we can look at it. Wow, it's actually crazy how well he's hitting that slider and cutter. So he is going to feature that cutter 22% of the time. And the cutter is really his weak spot, right? So when he's throwing that cutter, that's a pitch Miguel Vargas sees very well. Slider, not going to throw it a ton, right? 12% of the time. His slider is really good, but Miguel Vargas is handling that really well. And Michael, that's actually another guy I'm going to look at. Is Edgar Cuero. If I'm saying that name wrong, I'm sorry. So I might take this. Nothing's really standing out to me here. He does handle the slider very well, but it's one of Noah Cameron's best pitches. Just a 175 batting average. Hasn't given up a home run on the pitch this season. Doesn't mean it can't start tonight, though. I do want to look at Edgar. This guy right here. If you see a lefty on the mound, you need to go look at Edgar. Anytime there's a lefty on the mound. So this season against left-hand pitching, he's batting 375. Now he's not a big power guy, right? Just mostly singles, that sort of thing. But handles left-handed pitching really well. 375 average, 15% K rate. I thought it was a little lower than that. But when you dive into the numbers and you see really handling lefties very well. Slider 556. You're not going to see a ton of power though, right? 407 to the fastball, 500 to the cutter, 556 to the curveball, and Now, the only thing that kind of throws me off here is he's not seeing the changeup super well, and he's going to feature that quite a bit. So this would be an interesting maybe 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs play. If you wanted to make a parlay piece, you could do a hits parlay, throw him in there for a hits parlay as well. Um, Look at Caleb Durbin as well. Eduardo Rodriguez probably going to get rocked. Brewers in danger and losing 3 in a row at home. I like Andrew Vaughn. So the Brewers were really hot there for a little while. So it seems like they've cooled off, huh? Yeah, they're still hitting the baseball, right? Just maybe stranding some runners, leaving some guys on. How has he done against Milwaukee in his career? So did have a start this season. Went 19 outs, 6 hits, 3 Ks. Eduardo Rodriguez has been somewhat interesting, right? Left-hand pitching, kind of hit or miss, right? And I feel like that's what you get when you're betting on the Milwaukee Brewers. You don't know what team you're going to get on the day. You can either get this team where they have 3 hits all game, or 4 hits, or you get this team 12 hits, 8 runs. Now this was Mitchell Parker, who's not on the same level as a guy like Shota Imanaga, or they actually hit Matthew Boyd around. And so this is baseball right here. Carson Weisenhunt has a better outing than Robbie Ray. That's baseball. That's just baseball. In terms of batter versus pitcher data, to say is he going to get shelled tonight? I mean, nothing immediately is going to jump off the page. You know, you got Turang seen him pretty well. Andrew Vaughn 3 for 13. We can look at this one right here in the prop analysis. And guys, I do want to mention we are trying to get this new website to be live sometime this week, hopefully tomorrow. Nothing's set in stone yet, but we do want to get this out this week for all you guys to use. Um, and since it's going to be a brand new release, guys, if you happen to see a bug or something not running properly, reach out to me on Twitter. Reach out to us in the Discord. If you go to the top right here of your account and click support, you can join the Discord through there. Very, very responsive devs and founders in there. A good group of guys in there, bounce ideas off each other as well. Good community. Wyatt Langford. Okay, let's look at him next. Andrew Vaughn. 3 for 13. Nothing really going to stick out with that. But, you know, he's putting the ball in play, right? He's only struck out a couple of times, really only once, right? So he's definitely putting the ball in play. Andrew Vaughn has really been like a reborn hitter here this season since being acquired by the Brewers. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So that four seam's actually really good from Eduardo. Really the only pitch he can get guys out with, right? And Andrew Vaughn is handling that pitch very, very well. So we love to see that. All right, cutter and changeup. Cutter, not doing too well. But I think one thing you have to do with Andrew Vaughn is take his stats with a grain of salt, right? Because he was dreadful to start the season with the White Sox. Dreadful. So a lot of this is going to be skewed a little bit. But just the fastball numbers alone, seeing that Eduardo's going to throw this almost half the time, tells me it's a decent look. And let's kind of look at what his prop lines are sitting at today. Yeah, so this is no vig. So if you want to get a little bit of a better price there at plus 120, take it over there at no vig. Some good juice. The hold is just the juice, guys, as well. The lower hold, the better. The lower the hold, the better. So you're even seeing this at like minus money on most books. If you've got no vig and you like Andrew Vaughn today, would take it over there. Wyatt Langford. This is a guy who does not respect my coin. Let me tell you. I think every time I bet on this guy, he misses. Especially when you see all this, I would have bet on him August 15th, 19th. That would have been when I bet on him. Hey, 3 for 5 against Soriano. 3 for 5 against Soriano, by the way. Couple hard hit balls as well. Even off the knuckle curve, he's saying, just throw me your pitch mix. I'm gonna handle it, right? I love to see this as well. You see a hit off each of a different pitch. Sinker. He's gonna throw a lot of sinkers, right? Yep. So sinker, knuckle curve kind of mixes in that slider a little bit. Knuckle curve really his best pitch. But that's a pitch that Langford is handling. Now, what you can also do, guys, if you get a pitch that is a lot smaller sample size, now a knuckle curve, not a lot of pitchers will feature that pitch in the MLB. But what you can do is you can run it back to 2024. This is not going to be a good example, but you can get a deeper analysis of it. Now, you only saw 3 last season, but if it was like a splitter, for example, he saw 6 of them. As you can see, the splitter is making a major comeback in the MLB. More and more pitchers are starting to use this. It kind of went extinct there for a little while, but it's starting to come back. Now, in the age of velocity, the splitter makes sense, right? Looks just like a fastball out of the hand. So sinker, handling it pretty well, 263. Curveball. What else was he going to throw? Sinker, knuckle curve. Yeah, this is really interesting, right? 2 hits, five ABs, 2 doubles on his hits as well. So definitely don't mind Wyatt Langford today. Let's take a look at his odds. Oh yeah, oh yeah, and you're getting a really really good number here. Really good plus money spot today. Plus 148 there on ProfitX, which is where I would take it. Yeah, 148 is going to be your best bet, right? But Pinnacle Sharp Book has this at plus 150. And the thing about Soriano is he's a ground ball guy, right? He's a ground ball pitcher. Any data here? Seems like Langford has just seen him well. Hasn't struck out in any of those. Only a 20% barrel rate and 20% hard hit. So nothing that's going to jump out at you there. We have about 10 minutes or so left here, guys. Anything else you guys want to look at today? What do we have here? So Scooble pitching in that Little League ballpark today with the wind blowing out. What do we think? What do we think about this one? 91 degrees, 12-mile-an-hour winds to dead center field. Tarek Scooble. And Brent Rooker has actually seen him extremely well. 8 for 17. That's some pretty deep data right there. Brent Rooker. Look, I'm not going to be the guy that says, "Hey, stack against Tarek Scooble," but this is some interesting data. And you're seeing a lot of the success has come more recently. Actually took him deep in the first inning. I swear, I feel like Scooble always gives up a home run in the first inning. Is that just me? Like I watched him pitch against the Angels a couple months ago, and he gave up a first pitch homer to Zach Neto. Is he the type of guy that just like settles into the game as it goes on? Yeah, and I think it's a direct correlation to the pitch mix, right? He just sees the pitch mix really well. 34% changeup, 31%. So he's seeing that changeup extremely well. Sees the sinker extremely well. Four seam fastball, meh. So if I was Scuba, I would just pepper him with fastballs, right? Is that what he's been doing? Yeah, so that's what he's been doing, and he took him deep on one. Springer. Okay, let's look at Springer. Oh, that's tomorrow. Don't want to look at tomorrow. Springer against Joe Ryan. I actually really like this because you guys are putting me on guys that I wouldn't necessarily look at. Springer, 2 for 5. 75% hard hit rate. Okay. Look at Mr. Springer. How are we swinging it of late against right-hand pitching? A hit in 8 of your last 10, and there are some hot hitters right now in the MLB. A lot of hard hit balls as well. Peppering him with a lot of splitters. How often does he throw that? So that's what's so interesting to me, right? So you see Joe Ryan really only throws the splitter 6% of the time, but in all of these ABs, he sees a splitter. So it's like, I guess a game planning for that, a lot of off speed stuff maybe to Springer. 2024. Let's look at that real quick. So we saw 10 splitters in 2024, 2 for 10. So far, 1 for 6 this season. Handling the sweeper, handling the sinker. Meh. Man, he is absolutely crushing the sweeper, though, right? 16% usage. And that's kind of insane. Sinker. Weird thing about Rooker is he hits incredibly better in day games. Really? Let's take a look. 2025. Well, I don't guess we can actually look at it by day. We can only look at nighttime. Which I'm sure that's something that they will be adding. Like I said, this is still in beta. All the tools are not fully finished yet. Still being polished. So we got Newt versus Oviedo. Man, so he really struggled out of the gate, huh? He pitched against St. Louis. Yeah, kind of middle of the road starts there. Had a really nice start a couple years ago. Hasn't faced him in a while. Let's see. Newt. Oh, he's back batting leadoff, huh? 3 for 7. Couple of guys with some decent history here. Nolan Gorman is a guy I bet on all the time. You can go to the player page and look at their splits for day and night game. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Who are we looking at? Oh, Rooker. Okay. Brent Rooker. Splits. Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah. And you would be right, my friend. You would be right. Batting 301 during the day. Very interesting. 10 of his home runs coming during the day. 16 coming at night, which is going to happen, right? You play more night games than you do day games. But this is really interesting. So if he gets Skubal, it'll be first at bat. Yeah, I mean that's what the data is telling me, right? I wonder if you could. Wish there was a way to look at it, like runs by inning. I bet you could do it. Um, Detroit. Well, I don't want to break the site. I'm not going to break the site. So, like I said, a lot of this stuff still in the works, still being prepared. Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor. I know somebody had mentioned a Rosarena as well, so we can look at him as well here too. Yeah, I think if you go Naylor tonight, it's more of a bases play. With Sears only giving up 4 homers to left-hand hitters, it's not. I mean, the barrel rate is a lot higher for lefties. It's weird that he hasn't given up more homers, and I guess it just speaks to the sample size, right? He's faced 435 batters from the right-hand side of the plate. But I think Naylor has seen him pretty well, right? 2 for 7, nothing that's going to jump out at you. Wow, somebody said Randy Arozarena. 0 for 10, but I mean, he struck out in half of his plate appearances. He struck out in half of his plate appearances against Sears. 60% hard hit rate, though. So when he is hitting the baseball, this is an interesting one. This is an interesting one. And in more recent times, you're seeing a lot harder hit baseballs. Only struck out once to him this year, right? Fly out, ground out, pop out, fly out. Got fooled on one here, but a couple hard hit. I mean, hey, it's trending the right way. He hit one 332. He hit one 402. And in this ballpark, 402 is going to carry, right? 402 is getting out of the ballpark tonight. And if it's deep left field, 332 might carry out. So I don't hate Randy, even though the data tells you he's over 10. Seems like most of his struggles came last season. 20 minutes from West Sacramento Stadium. How many games have you been to this season, Michael? You got to get out there, man. All right, I got time for one more prop if you guys want to look at it. Got time for one more. Any of you guys use the hit rater? And if you use the hit rater, how do you use it? How was Naylor looking? I think he's all right. I don't think it's. I think to me it would be more of a basis play if I was going to play that. Just because he's only given up 4 homers to lefties. But we can actually let's look at him at the pitch breakdown. Maybe something sticks out that we can't see on the surface. And again, I think what you're seeing is a lot of this data is from a couple years ago, right? Sears has been a hard contact guy this season. Gave up a home run and a single to him this year. Now this is when he was with the Diamondbacks, right? Earlier in the year. Pitch mix wise, what is getting you in trouble? Now, you haven't given up a ton of homers. Again, I think it would be a basis play. Sweeper, Naylor is handling the sweeper very well. He's going to feature that pitch almost half the time, guys. So Naylor really handling that. 304, 4 singles and 2 doubles. He has hit 1 homer off it. 4-seam fastball, 34% of the time. 417 ISO on that. But it's not. The thing about the sweeper is he's not getting up a ton of contact, just mostly singles. So I think Naylor would be more of a basis play. Given that ballpark, maybe a hits, runs, RBIs play, something like that. I think that's going to be it. Oh, this is a big matchup right here. Big series here for the Mets, who are like right on that bubble of the playoffs right now. Man, I tell you what, the Mets I feel like fall off at the end of the season every single year. Because weren't they like almost the leader in the division at one point this season? Pretty insane that Toronto is 76 and 55. All right, let's see if I can find one more look. What game have we not talked about yet? Boston and Baltimore? Boston and Baltimore? Roman Anthony is one of my favorite guys to bet on. I love him batting in the leadoff spot for this Red Sox team. Especially with guys like Bregman, Story, Nathaniel Lowe, who's been pretty good since putting on that Red Sox jersey. I love the lineup after Roman Anthony. Let's see if anything sticks out. Good stuff as usual. Yo, appreciate the words, Michael. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, and he's done really well against Baltimore as well. Are we actually getting a 1.5 line? We're actually getting a 2.5 line on Roman Anthony today. So if you can find his fantasy score, if his fantasy score is like 5.5, 6, probably be a good look. Splitter, meh. 4-seam, cutter, sinker. Not throwing those pitches a lot. Yeah, I definitely like some Red Sox bats, but it's going to be difficult to hone in on one because the pitch mix is so deep. But he's given up a lot of hard contact. His only decent pitch is the sweeper and the splitter. So everything else is getting tattooed. Yeah, we got some really good looks today. Some really good looks today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out in the stream today. Um, I'm planning on doing a college football stream. And if you would like a little sneak peek here of the college football site, I'll pop it up for you. We can look at some of the upcoming games. You can filter it, and it's in the order of in which the games start, right? So these are Thursday games, Friday games. Yes, y'all just pray for me. I'm an Auburn fan. I'm an Auburn fan. Every year they say, "Oh, this is our year." We're gonna see. But yeah, big time site overall here, guys. Got the quarterbacks stats. Obviously, these are going to be the 24 stats. Running backs, it's got the depth chart. Receivers, it's going to be great. Then you can dive into the player props. Yo, appreciate that, D. Player props, as you can see. And when we dive into this, we will be looking at Jackson Arnold's rush yards when we do stream this. Hopefully, going to have a college football stream tomorrow. We're definitely going to have one Friday night. Friday night is going to be a Doink After Dark stream. Friday night. So set your calendars. We're going to have a couple of guests on with us. Some guys that love college football, that live, breathe college football. They're going to be on here with me. I'm mostly going to shut up and let them yap, so you guys don't have to listen to me. I'm just going to be on here, kind of leading the show. But we'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope everybody has a great day and hits their bets.